So the next step is trying to identify head coaching candidates and hire a head coach. Former defensive back in the NFL, Tyvis Powell, his thoughts on the type of head coach he thinks the Browns need.
Honestly, I think it's just somebody that is a leader of men, a guy that people will respect. You know, I keep saying I think that it's nice and all to get the hot coordinator, and if he could come in and be, one of those guys that can lay the law down and people fall in line, that would be great. I think that's ultimately what this team needs, because you think about just how undisciplined they are at times, with the penalties, the turnovers. If you got a guy in there that preaches and gets the respect of his players, you get rid of all the antics. You get rid of all the pre-snap penalties, because this guy is about business. He's serious. And we respect that guy. That's personally what I think. So I think it needs to be one of those old school, hard-nosed coaches that can, get that going. And I think that you could just find a hot OC or something like that, because I think that, those are year to year. Those always change. So I think you can find that. I'm not in the business of trying to get a first-time head coach. I feel like you just got out of that with Kevin. I think you want to buy somebody that's established, because I think that's what this team needs, is somebody that's established, that's, seen some highs, that knows what it takes to go to the playoffs and maybe potentially the Super Bowl and things like that. So I'd rather the new head coach be a guy with some head coaching experience.
I can't argue with that assessment. The question becomes, how do you get them interested in coming to the current setup of the Browns if they do have a lot of experience?